Now then, he has been seen in 145 countries around the world in 45 different languages, and today celebrates his 80th birthday. Who is he? Well, we are talking about the children's book and TV character Thomas the Tank Engine. And to mark the occasion, a previous unseen pilot of the TV series, narrated by none other than Ringo Starr, has been brought back to life. Let's just take a quick look at the episode entitled Down the Mine.
One day, Thomas was at the junction when Gordon shuffled in with some trucks. "Phew," remarked Thomas. "What a funny smell." "Can you smell a smell?" "I can't smell a smell," said Annie. "A funny, musty sort of smell," said Thomas. "No one noticed it till you did," grunted Gordon. "It must be yours."
Happy birthday, Thomas. Let's talk to Ian McCue, who's former series producer of Thomas and Friends. Thanks so much for being with us, Ian. Tell us more about this previously forgotten episode then. How did it come to light?
So this was a test pilot that was shot back in 1983 by the late Britt Allcroft, who was the sort of the vision behind the Thomas TV show, having acquired the books from the Reverend Audrey. And the test pilot was really to enable the film crew to sort of understand sort of how they would go about doing the further 26 episodes of season one. So it was a kind of a proof of concept, trying to sort of iron out any kinks, sort of make sure there weren't any teething problems. So the pilot was shot, stitched together. They were sort of happy with the outcome. They learned some valuable lessons from it. And it was then obviously put to one side because, of course, then what happened is they created season one and season two and so on. And, of course, over the years, that sort of pilot was sat on a shelf and probably at one point, who knows, it may have just sort of never been seen again. And years later, I mean, the fans, Thomas and Friends has a huge fandom. The fans have been requesting, pondering, does the pilot exist? And at Mattel, we were able to uncover some film cans in our archives. And inside those film cans were these small rolls of film trims in pretty poor condition. They were sort of warped and sort of they had elastic bands that had disintegrated, leaving sort of sticky sort of residue on them. So we had to do a lot of sort of work to sort of clean the film, to be able to scan it at 4K. And using the script from the pilot, we were able to assemble as close as we could to what would have been the pilot. And of course, then with the picture, we sort of wanted to add the sound. So we knew we'd come across an effects reel on 35mm mag track. And we came across a can that just said Pilot VO. And of course, the Pilot VO, we had no idea what it was going to be. Was it going to be one of the crew members doing a scratch record just for the pilot? No, it was Ringo Starr.
Yeah, so and we just heard a bit. We just heard a bit of Ringo, and he's actually very good, isn't he?
Oh, he's superb. I mean, he's so iconic. He is the voice of Thomas, isn't he? He only did 2 seasons, but you kind of feel like sort of he's never left.
Yeah.
You know, and I think so. So really, with the pilot, having Ringo's voice, the only thing we were missing was music. So we called upon Mike O'Donnell, and Mike O'Donnell had been one of the co-composers who sort of worked on all the original Thomas themes. Again, very iconic theme tune. And really, this pilot just came together so well. A very proud moment for us all. And obviously, I've already seen with the news today, the fans and how they're reacting to this little bit of Thomas history.
And why does Thomas have so many fans? Why has it been such an incredible success story around the world?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's a global phenomenon. It's really something that the stories are timeless. You know, obviously we know that there's sort of great life lessons and messaging and teamwork and friendship and communication. But I think deep down is that there's a love of train. And obviously we have a new generation of fans that are watching Thomas, but we still have this old fan base that have grown up with Thomas, and it's part of their life. And obviously a lot of them have gone from watching Thomas and playing with the toy trains to now volunteering and working on real heritage railways, so their sort of journey has been very much guided by their love of Thomas and their love of trains.
Just briefly, I think you are auctioning off, aren't you, some of the original props and the proceeds going to charity. Just tell us a little bit about that. We've just got a few seconds left.
No worries. Yes. So the auction is really to give everyone an option, a possibility to own something from Thomas memorabilia. The proceeds are going to the National Autistic Society, which we think is a great charity to be supporting.
Well done, and really fascinating to hear the story of Thomas from its very beginnings. Thank you so much, Ian McCue, their former series producer of Thomas and Friends.